Okay, here we are at chapter 24. I woke up to the sound of footsteps outside my dorm room. As I laid there, the noise level increased as voices were added to the mix. I rolled over to look at my mechanical alarm clock and noticed it was nearly 7 a.m. I pulled the covers off my body and plucked my feet to the floor. I rested my elbows on my knees and ran both of my hands straight through my hair, front to back of my neck. I noticed that the sun cast a shadow through the vertical rungs that made up the back of one of my chairs at the table. I realized that I needed to get moving. I quickly showered and dressed in shorts, gray athletic t-shirt, tennis shoes, and I pulled my old high school basketball warm-up pants up to my waist. I grabbed the new ball Jenkins had given me the day before and headed out to Beaupre where I was to try and to get into a pickup game. I worked my way off campus and walked the route through the older section of town. The streets were lined with older, run-down storefronts, cleaners, pawn shops, deli, ethnic sports shops, a tarot reader store, bakeries, and the like. The smells and the sounds could be found in any distressed municipality, from Gary, Indiana to Detroit. The streets were lined with many old cars with multicolored spray-painted finishes, most of which never should be allowed on the open road anyway. Many of the cars had their owners sitting on the hoods, or the trucks with people sitting in the back, just conversing with friends and neighbors. I turned on to Smith Place, where Beaupre was located. The courts were occupied at only one end, with a couple of players taking turns shooting free throws. The courts were encased with an old 10-foot-tall, very rusty chain-link fence. Some of the supporting crossbars were missing, with a number of tears in the fence. One area had a 5-foot diameter section torn out. Each length of the court had old aluminum bleachers spray-painted in a rainbow of colors. Neither of the rims on the backboards were quite level, feeling the negative effects of people trying to do slam dunks from Michael Jordan wannabes. Two of the players saw me making my way onto the court and paused to give me the once-over. Then went back to the personal little free throw contest. I did a little stretching and began banking layups, alternating left and right hands. Then I worked my way further out and then started shooting some jump shots from the free throw line. I never missed a shot. I moved out passing at the top of the key to the three-point land and began sinking shot after shot. Each shot never touching the rim and making that loud clanking noise as it rocketed through the chain-link netting that was standard issue on blacktop basketball courts. The two players began taking notice of my strange luck of not missing anything and stopped their own little match. "Nice shooting, fellas," said one of the boys. "Suppose we're not supposed to be impressed or something?" said the other. I just kept shooting, not responding to what they said. "Now we know you ain't Deef, and we know you're not Helen Keller," said one of the boys again. "We can tell by you shooting that you can see just because you're deaf or something," chimed in the other one. "Or didn't your mama teach you any manners to speak when you were spoken to?" I turned but was very afraid that this conversation was never going to go in a positive direction. I was not sure how to respond. No one else was around but the three of us, as far as I knew. I decided to take a chance and be a little bit brave. "No, I can hear you all right," I answer. "And you're right. I can see and I can hear too. My name is not Helen Keller. I've never worn a dress. How about either of you?" "Ooh, this guy's got a mouth," said one boy. "Too bad no brain." The two boys started making their way down to my end of the court. The taller one was dribbling the ball about every third step. This looked like trouble. I turned and held my ball on my right hip, watching the boys as they got closer. I'm not looking for trouble, I made clear, but I'm also not walking away from any. I came down here to shoot around a little bit, and that's all. The two boys began sizing me up as they got closer with each step. It became obvious to them that I was at least 5 inches taller than Mookie, the biggest kid, and that I was well built and not just some tall white drink of water. You think you can just come down here to our hood and shoot around, be rude to us, ignore us talking to you, and that's all there is to it, said Marvin, the smaller boy. Not this week, homie, he added. I was not being rude, I replied. I was just not looking for trouble. You sound like you are. As I look at Marvin, right dead in his eyes, never blinking and never smiling, it was beginning to make Marvin nervous. Mookie enters the conversation again. Listen, man, me and Marv want no trouble. We just don't see many albinos down our way. You a cop or something? Been around a lot of them lately. No, I'm no cop. I'm just a student over at Moody Bible Institute. I'm working to get my degree so I can become a minister. I decided to take a walk through the neighborhood and just shoot some hoops like I did in high school. I didn't realize I needed some ticket or a library card here from Marvin to play here, do I? No, said Mookie. We're just careful who hangs out around here, that's all. Sometimes trouble shows up in all the wrong places. Yes, said Marvin in a more normal tone of voice. We just don't let any cracker come here and play, you know. You don't play like no cracker, though. Where are you from? Connecticut, I answered as I began shooting. And I have played some ball. Without bragging, I was all-state 4 years in a row before the military service. Now, I'm going back to school to become a minister. Mookie and Marvin look at each other for a moment and start laughing. I'm still holding my ball and just looking at them. Listen, said Mookie, unless you've got some insane desire to meet Jesus real soon, don't come on down here bothering brothers like us, like you did today. Some of the other guys around here are mean, and they'll take you out in a New York minute. Just some friendly advice. Well, thanks. I think I'll take that under advisement, I replied. You can take it, said Marvin, or you'll be taking it to the morgue, your choice. We're just trying to be neighborly, you know. Okay, I said, since you put it that way. I allow a small grin to creep over my face. Maybe the safest thing for now. Smart move, X-Lax, said Mookie. Guess we're going to have to take you under our wing before you need some pallbearers. See the headlines? Cracker slam dunked at Beaucree. Details at 11. They all start laughing. Well, I'm not sure that that's real funny on my part. Mookie and Marvin say, yeah, well, it won't be funny. I finally realized that's not funny and that they weren't kidding.